There are topics that you will rarely, if ever, hear in the mainstream media. It's not that they're not true. It's that these true things are, well, is there such a thing as too true? Truth that the vast majority of people will either not hear, will distort, will deny, will conveniently find hard to understand, and in other words, they will retreat into confusion, and so many other things. Obviously, by the title, you already know the kinds of truths I'm referring to. Our species has never been confronted with such truths. Facts about the inevitable demise of our entire species in short order, unless something on a massive scale is done. And it seems our systems, our psychological, emotional, the whole coping system, has no capacity for it. For indeed, such an event has never occurred on our planet in its entire multi-billion years. So the fact you're even listening, fully aware of the title, proves you are one of the few who are opting to know the truth, however disturbing, rather than turn your head, as an unbelievable number of people are currently doing. To the likelihood, sorry, that's not something people want to know, but it will be a certainty unless people get the courage to do something, which necessarily, of course, starts with looking at the problem. Okay, I'll try again. This isn't easy for me either. The cumulative scientific evidence relating to the fact that this planet has been accelerating in the direction of there being little to no hope that there will be much, if any, life on this planet at some point only 20 to 50 years from now. So turning their head to the likelihood that we will all be dead in what will probably seem the fastest decades ever. That's what people are doing. What makes this likelihood so disturbing is that many people know this and yet don't care. Some even get a charged up thrill. I know that's hard to believe, but after you hear me, you may see it around you if you haven't already noticed it. Some even get a charged up thrill or sense of power at the prospect of, global annihilation. And many others just can't wait. Sadly, they have certain misguided religious beliefs that have turned this most abominable thing, wiping out the efforts, the strivings, and occurrences of billions of years, and over 8 billion human souls alone in current time, and negating the passionate struggles of trillions of humans prior to us who want it more than anything else to leave the world a better place. But take a cynical, maddened generation or two, and they may as well never have lived. Why am I saying this? If you have children or grandchildren, even if you might not see it, what kinds of parents exist now that blithely turn away from the trillion alarm fire that is already waging, that will consume their beloveds in ways too horrible to contemplate? I wonder how many just left just now. For you parents who are still there, this is not down on parents. This is all about the incredible love that parents have for kids. But what is so amazing is how we are not seeing that they're in danger right now. And I will get to that. So those of you who stuck in after that comment, I think you'll feel rewarded for it. I don't understand it. For in any other situation, see, this is what I'm saying, folks, where their kids would be threatened, wouldn't many parents, grandparents, even risk their own lives? I need to say this because despite the madness surrounding us in the minds of people, stressed with problems of all kinds that are now at unprecedented levels, I have faith in God and the nobility of humans at their base. I believe that more and more will not only face this horrible darker-than-night cloud looming and rushing us from the horizon, but will deem it to be the one worthy thing left to do, whichever way it goes. I am using my God-given skills of communication and intellect. Well, be that as it is. Along with a lifetime of study into the human mind and its healing, I know there are others like myself right now attempting to wake up the noble spirited, the heroic among us, who once convinced will add whatever unique qualities God has blessed them to this once in a multi-billions chance to be good, kind, brave, hardworking, sympathetic, heartful, strong, God-loving, life-embracing, laughter song and children-loving humans again. That's the great reward. Humans, not the greedy beasts of prey with green in their eyes and their blood who have been taking over this planet for several decades now, for idiotically selfish ends, and so maddened we have already seen the first incredible detonation of their unconcern for this planet. All God's creatures on it, and even their own offspring, in its collapse of an entire global economic system in what seemed practically to be overnight. I can't say that without saying that I just said the first incredible detonation of their unconcern for this planet, and I mentioned the global one, the economic one. You know, it just doesn't seem right. It just doesn't seem like that's it. It seems petty compared to what we've been told is going to happen and is already going on, which is a 50% mass extinction within 20, 30 years, 40 years max. I mean, we've seen the bees go, and that was, you know, perhaps a canary in the coal mine. So I'm saying that all of the scientific evidence is showing this incredible mass extinction, which means half of all life on this planet will be dead. And then I ask you, even if that most certain of things, unless we change drastically, happens, we're a fragile ecosystem. We've already lost so many, and it's already affecting us. How can we live? How can we exist with half of the living beings on this planet gone? I mean, we are so much aligned with it. We are so much dependent on each other, you know? So many ways, biologically, I mean, every way. Because one, you know, is affecting the other, is affecting the other, is affecting the other. It's all affecting us. And it affects us biologically and everything. So, and the only analogy I can use to give you an example of like how it's not just going to be like, you know, they're taking half of the animals out of the zoo. No, this is serious. I mean, would you say it wouldn't be serious if half of the water in the world disappeared? You know, one of the oceans just went. The analogy I use that I hope makes the point is, imagine that you were imagine that you went to a doctor and he said, well, I got some bad news for you. Kind of bad news for you. He says, looks like you got that disease where, well, you'll live for a while, but over about the next 20 years, you're going to lose half of your organs and glands in your body. But that's okay. We'll put you on, you know, you'll get on Social Security because you obviously won't be able to work. I mean, it's that kind of consciousness that, like, how could anybody live with half of their organs and glands gone? Just imagine one gland gone. I mean, people die of one gland diseases, you know? So, to think, well, I guess people just don't see how we are all just one being on this planet. And if that's not physically true, then it's sure hell enough close to metaphorically true to mean that we're in dire straits.